first started university, I never thought I'd get a job before even starting second year. It was just not even the slightest of ideas. But here's how I did it, and here's how potentially you can follow a similar path to make a breakthrough in the tech industry without having a full degree ready for you. Or even if you're just in a boot camp, maybe this can work for you. Hi, I'm Nayyab. I'm your local junior engineer, and I'm here to talk to you about my journey into software engineering and how I made it in and how it's been so far for me. And on this channel, we talk about all things engineering, junior position related, and the corporate life. So hit subscribe if you want to tag along, and let's get into it. Going right back to the start of my journey, it actually started when I was first out of college and I just started working in retail. Typical job which you don't need any experience for and almost anyone can get it. It all started there. My journey wasn't in tech at all. Straight out of college, I decided that I'm going to take a gap year already, and I just started working. The first month out of college, I was already in a job and I was working at Man City, and just on their match days, I was there every single time. And I was also working part-time at a jewellery shop in town. And whilst doing all of that, about 3 months after, I think it was around November time, and I started working at a call centre and as an account manager, and those things went on, and eventually I kept applying for roles because no one working in a call centre is happy. That's my take. That's my hot take of the day. But nevertheless, kept applying for jobs, and I was like, I'm going to make it like into a proper job which I can continue alongside uni. That was the mindset. It was never about getting into tech in the first place. And because I had the account manager experience, I kept applying to roles that was similar in a contact center, and kept applying, and finally I got a one call back. And after I got this call back, at this point I think I was in my job, and I remember picking up the call and I was like, I really just don't want to be on the phones. And the recruiter on the phone, she was like, one role has came out today, and do you want to work in it? And that was like a data processing role in this finance company that I'd never heard of. Apparently they're the UK's number one broker. Never heard of them. But anyway, I was like, yeah, I'll come in for the interview. 2 days later, I had the interview and I was in. I'll talk more about the interview process and soft skills in another video, but just going from there, I was in. That was my first role, and I just got my foot into what I didn't even know could reveal itself as like my full career, where it began. And so the first step is to take any role you're given and any opportunity you're given and just take it. Keep trying and just keep moving forward. Get 1% better every single day. And so I got into this role and I'm still working there. It was just a normal underwriting role. It was just an admin role in the background, and I kept working there, and I'd started uni at this point, and they'd let me go part-time with my contract. And this is like one of the corporate hacks. There's a lot of leeway in corporate. You can almost get away with doing a lot, and corporate is willing to accommodate your growth for the most part as well. And this applies to the majority of companies. A lot of companies put a lot into their employees, and I just happened to be under good management. Continuing from there, made it known. I talked to every single person in the office because, as you can tell, I love talking. And so talking into everyone in the office, everyone knew I was working to software engineering and studying it, and I had an interest in it. And my managers changed before anything happened. A lot of managers came in and went out, and one manager who popped in, and he knew I was studying software engineering, and he introduced me to the new head of technology. And at this point, it wasn't going anywhere. I was just talking. I just wanted to get more about technology and how it's actually used in a company. We're not taught that at uni. So after a year into data processing, I'm finally working and getting to know where the tech team even sits. I just got to know that part a year later, and working from there and getting to know the tech team as well. The head of technology allowed me to start sitting with some engineers in my free time. So I'd come in like on my lunch breaks or on my days off, or when I wasn't at uni, because they were open 7 days a week, and I'd just come in and talk to engineers and just sit with them for hours on end and just see what they were doing. That's when I actually started loving technology and software engineering, from a point where I was doubting it before, and it just became a really enjoyable process. Then that ended off after a few months, and there was a huge gap. At the end of my first year, summer, is when I decided I wanted to do an internship. I was already applying to internships at that point, and I'd gotten one offer back, but it just seemed like I'd have to quit my job and then do it. So I just took the initiative and I asked the company and my manager, like, can I do an internship here? Luckily enough, they said yes. But they were like, you can't give up your role in data processing. You have to still be keeping up the responsibilities there, making sure no work is left off, and doing this on top. That was a bit overwhelming, and that year was like a very difficult year for me to manage in terms of I had uni, I had an internship, and I had a job as well, which I was working full-time hours in. Insane, but we made it out nevertheless. And I was working flexible hours at this point, and I do the internship. Just near the end of my internship, I was working on the company's website design, and the manager happened to mention me in front of the CEO. And this was in a completely internal meeting that was private, and I did not know anything about it. And he'd happened to mention me there, and the CEO just took the initiative to say, let's just hire her there and then. And that's quite literally what happened. They just hired me there and then, instead of waiting till after uni and I'd graduated, which was what the head of technology initially intended. And it just happened that from there, I've been working as a software engineer now for nearly 2 years and learning along the way. That's the full story of how I became a software engineer. And you can see there's a lot of coincidence. It seems like it's happened, but it's just the power of compounding and talking to people and networking skills. You need to be able to to talk to people and get your ideas out there and contribute in a positive way. And whether that's just with purely just the vibes you bring to the table, which was all I was doing initially for the first month, it was just pure vibe. I wasn't bringing a lot of technical skills. You can imagine what a first year engineer has. Some tips which you can take away and hopefully apply in some way to start your compounding process in your technical journey, or whether that's just for your career and how you can do it. So step one is to just start where you are. Don't wait for the perfect role. Don't wait for the best job opportunity you could find. If you can get your foot in through the corporate door, or any door at all in terms of getting employment, just take it. You never know where that one role will lead you. When I started on data processing, I was just like, I'll just work here for 3 years till I graduate and then call it a day and go somewhere else. Little did I know that something would change so dramatically in the space of 6 to 9 months, and I'd be so grateful for it. Takeaway 2, be curious and ask. I cannot emphasize it enough. Ask, ask, ask. You don't know how much you can get by just asking. If I had not taken the initiative to just ask someone, like, can I do an internship here? Out of the blue, I'd probably have to quit my job and take an unpaid internship and go work somewhere else, which might not even have led me to a full-time role. It would have just been an internship. An unpaid role is valuable if you're not already getting paid already. But if you know there's a scope for opportunity where you are and the company can possibly accommodate it, even if it's extra responsibility on your part and extra time you have to make out, just take that opportunity. It might just lead you to somewhere else. If not, you just have the experience to take away with you, which has led to a little bit oiling on your flywheel of compounding. Number 3, make your interests known to anyone and everyone who meets you. Luckily, I happen to like engineering and computers, so I like talking about it in general. But even if you're not the most passionate about your degree and you have something that you're interested in, just let everyone know about it. If you like a certain type of cheese, let everyone know about it. Maybe the company will host a cheese board to support your interest and you'll enjoy it in that way. For me, because I made my engineering interest known to everyone, how much I love computers, it led to this more compounding in terms of people knowing I'm interested, so they held out opportunities to me to work on projects, attend meetings, and I could contribute to them. And the same can happen for you. I obviously do not come from a background where I was given special advantages. I have worked my way up all the way through corporate, and though I'm not at the highest level, I think I'm at a very happy level where I am, and I hope that I can continue growing through corporate and in my role as well. And number 4 is to say yes to the small things, even if it's a project you're going to dread. I'm not saying you should be unhappy in the work you're doing. However, if you know you have to do the work anyway, or you need to do some work anyway, just say yes to the small projects. In my internship, I did a lot of projects which were absolutely irrelevant and thrown away for the most part. They just weren't even used. Or because I worked on them, I had system knowledge that I gained from them, which coming back 2 years later is the exact system I'm working on right now. It will all come back. Everything almost always comes back in a full cycle. So just say yes to the small things and the small opportunities, like sitting with someone and just getting to learn from them on your lunchtime, or just buying someone a coffee and having a chat with them. These little things are what compound in the long term. And number 5, do great work quietly or out loud. It's up to you. But I prefer to just keep giving value. Everything you get is in exchange for the value you provide. You can provide emotional value, physical value, technical value. And just by being present and providing your vibes, you're giving physical value to the company. You're a member of the team. That's physical value. Emotional value is letting everyone feel comforted and bringing good vibes to the table as well. And technical value, I'm sure that's pretty self-explanatory. You have a lot of different things to give, and especially when you're a junior and you don't have the best technical skills on the team, you have a lot more to offer. So bring the nice vibes, bring the happy vibes to the team, and most people will want to get to know you and want to work with you, which is what we're trying to get here. We want to learn more. We want people to speak to us and share their knowledge with us. So those are the 5 takeaways from today's video. If you're a student or a junior engineer who feels stuck and it seems like the industry has no roles open whatsoever, that's not the case. There's always opportunities, there's always roles. You just have to be willing to step up to them. Some doors just are behind other doors, and you need to get through the little doors first to make it to the big door. So just take the little opportunities you're given, even if it's just at uni and you get the opportunity to go talk to someone or attend a careers event and you're talking to someone there. These little things will compound in terms of your career. Just go build up those skills of having short conversations and using it as a stepping stone to improve your skills overall. You don't need to have everything figured out, and you just need to be curious and you'll be able to make it through. So I hope you can continue pushing through and attending more events and diversifying the things you do. Drop a comment and tell me where you're studying right now and what your first step on the journey is. If you have any questions about my journey, I'm more than happy to explain. I hope you all stay interacted. There's resources for junior developers down below on my stand store, and I also have a newsletter where I send out my tips and tricks and how you can be better managing yourself as a junior developer in your job or in uni. Let me down, sign up down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.